Is there a formula to win your Atlanta Social Security disability claim? My name is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I'm an Atlanta area Social Security disability attorney. And a lot of folks reach out to me and they say, okay, I've heard all these different things about disability. What does it take to win? Is there any sort of a formula I can follow, a framework, something that will give me a better chance at winning? And I thought about that. It's actually a very good question. And I don't think you can make this too mechanical because there's kind of an art to it as well as a science to it. But to try to make it more scientific for you, I kind of broke down what I look for when I'm evaluating a case and what I think what it takes to convince a judge that in fact you were disabled. So the first thing is, I think you need a clear diagnosis of a medical problem. Or even if you don't have a diagnosis of one thing, maybe your doctors are saying it could be one thing or this other thing. So it could be you have depression or bipolar disorder. You have either a herniated disc or a bulging disc. And again, a lot of these things can be determined with objective tests, but you want to have a firm diagnosis. Sometimes, like I've seen cases, is it Lyme disease or is it Rocky Mountain spotted fever disease or mold exposure? Because all of them have kind of similar symptoms. That's okay, but you want to have some sort of a direction that your doctors are going, this is what we think is going on. Because if you have these sort of, undifferentiated pain, this person's got chronic pain, we don't know what it is out of proportion to what the objective evidence says, much more difficult to win because that suggests that your problems are more subjective as opposed to objective, and that means the judge would have to approve you based on simply believing you, and judges just don't like to do that. So the more objective of a diagnosis you've got, one supported by tests, objective tests like an MRI or a CT, that is ideal. That's much, much better. That's a good first step. So having a firm diagnosis is really helpful. Number two, I think having treatment with a specialist. A lot of people go to their family doctor, which again is fine, but if you've got a significant medical problem, the judge is going to ask him or herself, why is this person not with a specialist? If you've got a heart problem, why are you not with a cardiologist? If you've got rheumatoid arthritis, why are you not with a rheumatologist? So you generally want to be with a specialist of some type. It's going to make your case a lot stronger. Doesn't mean you can't continue to go to your GP, but ideally you'll be seeking treatment from a specialist. That tends to be very persuasive to a judge. I think the third thing you want to have is ongoing treatment, or what they call longitudinal treatment record. Because if you go to a doctor once every 6 months, judge is going to assume, well, if you're not going to the doctor, your situation must not be that serious. Could be you don't have the money. It could be you don't have the insurance. I would tell you that ideally I want to see my client going to the doctor at least 4 times a year, if not more often, because you want to show the judge that you are seeking treatment, you're ongoing, you're fighting to get it, even if that means going to a county health facility, county mental health, county physical health, a free clinic, a low-cost clinic, emergency room. You've got to just show you're willing to fight to get some sort of medical care, even if you don't have any money. Judges appreciate that because, again, they equate, in many cases, maybe it's subconsciously even, the frequency of medical care with the seriousness of your condition. Of course, medical records have to show a significant problem, but medical records of one-time visit probably isn't going to do that much. For example, I had a case recently where my client had gone to a psychologist, a Social Security psychologist, a consultative evaluation. They sent her out to a psychologist who comes back with this really, really strong report. She has significant problems interacting with coworkers and supervisors, does not behave in an emotionally stable manner, can't remember simple things. Years ago, this would have been enough to win the case. And the judge basically said to me, well, that's all, we have this one report, but no ongoing treatment records. I'm going to consider this a non-severe impairment. And that basically means that it's not going to be considered as part of this person's evaluation for disability. Is she just depressed? Absolutely, but she didn't have the treatment records. Why not? She had no money, she had no insurance. That doesn't seem to really make a difference. So again, ongoing treatment is a really, really big deal for Social Security. Compliance with treatment, when the doctor gives you medications to take, procedures to follow, lifestyle changes, stop smoking, stop drinking, lose weight, The more you can comply with that, the better, because the judge is going to look at that and say, well, this person did everything his doctor told them to do, and we're still having problems. That's a lot more credible than this person did not take his medicine, did not lose weight, did not try to stop smoking, and now is basically saying they're disabled. I wonder if he'd stopped smoking, if he'd lost weight, if he'd done this, whether he might be better. Uncertainty, as the old saying, leads to the conclusion of no. So you're much better off being completely compliant with what your doctor had offered and proposed to you, and showing the judge you did everything the doctor asked you to do, unless it was going to cause you potentially more harm or significant pain, and you're able to explain that. So compliance without success, maybe is the way I would put this, compliance with treatment but without any effective success rates to it. And as a corollary to that, if you're being given different medications, they don't work, keep a list. I had a client recently who had diabetes. She had been tried on 9 different medications, 9 different types of insulin and other diabetic medications. None of them were successful in keeping her blood sugar reduced. We had a list of all those medications. We said to the judge, look, we have tried this, we've tried this, we've tried this. None of it worked, and it's in the record. That's a lot more compelling that, yes, this problem is a lot more severe than something that can be fixed simply by taking a few pills in the morning. I think that you want to be thinking about the symptoms of your condition that are most relevant to Social Security. Remember, Social Security defines disability in terms of how your medical problem impacts your capacity for work. So when you describe your medical problems and the symptoms you have, think about how those symptoms, how those issues would prevent you from working. Example, you're diabetic and you have to go to the bathroom every 30 minutes, and you have urgency, meaning you've got to get to the bathroom in 15 or 20 seconds. Well, what that means is you're going to need a job that allows you to take an unscheduled break every 30 minutes, and it's within 10 feet of a bathroom. That's going to pretty significantly erode the job base in any level of any type of job out there in the economy, and vocational witnesses will say that. That's going to make your case a lot stronger. By contrast, if you say, I'm diabetic and I'm always tired, well, what does that mean? That's not measurable. Going to the bathroom every 30 minutes that's something you can plug into a job description and say, this is not going to work, but being tired all the time is not one that you can do. If you've got congestive heart failure and you're on Lasix and you have to go to the bathroom all the time, again, that's consistent with the treatment and the diagnosis, and makes sense. A judge is going to say, yes, I can understand why somebody on a water pill would be going to the bathroom all the time. And again, you want to quantify that. Don't say all the time. It's every 45 minutes to an hour. That gives the judge something to plug into a what they call a hypothetical question that the judge might ask a vocational witness. I think that any medical problem that leads to bathroom problems in general is going to be a lot stronger, because again, those are things that you cannot control. If you have to get to the bathroom, that's an unscheduled break. If you mess your clothes up and you go home, that's an unscheduled absence. These are things that I think carry a lot of weight when it comes to the disability world. So I think you want to report symptoms that are consistent with your diagnosis. I would tell you to go to your attorney and talk about the symptoms that arise from your condition that are most relevant to your work, and then make sure when you go to your doctor you report those symptoms, so that you're building a record to show truthful in reality, but those are things that would impact your capacity for work. And I think the last thing is, if you can get support, I'll call this number 6, if you can get support from your doctor in the form of a functional capacity evaluation, a narrative report, even a letter the doctor has written to a different doctor describing your condition, that talks about the activities of daily living that are being impacted. It talks about the need for you to lie down for 2 hours. It talks about the problems you have behaving in an emotionally stable manner. Anything that is specific to behavior, activities that would impact you negatively at a job, those are the things you want to do. So if I had to give you a formula, a 6-part formula, that's what it would be. Recap: clear diagnosis, treatment with a specialist, ongoing treatment, compliance with treatment without success, symptoms consistent with your diagnosis that impact work, and support from your doctor in the form of a functional capacity evaluation. You put all this together, you've got good medical records, your chances of winning are pretty high, and that's what I would look for. That's how I advise my client. That's what I'm advising you. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. Visit my website, georgiasocialsecuritydisabilityattorney.com. A lot more information there about Social Security disability in general and about medical conditions, specifically how win cases based on any variety of medical problems. If I can be of assistance to you, please call me. My office number is 770-393-4985. So for now, this is Jonathan Ginsberg wishing you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.